Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I am so excited you're here, and today's podcast features an interview with one of our community members named Claire, and she's going to be interviewed by Jill, who's one of our coaches here in our Steps to Everyday Productivity program. We heard from Claire in a beautiful comment that she left where she shared that, while she'd read books and was kind of familiar with some of the principles we talk about here, the form and function just hadn't been there until she came into our program here at LearnDoBecome. Then she said this: I truly never thought that I could be organized. Completing basic tasks and routines felt impossible to me, but now I am completing project after project and working on building new routines. So awesome. And then she shared this beautiful story. She said, I've heard so many stories here about people being able to be present with their children and not worried about all the things that are left undone. Last night, that happened for me. My 8-year-old daughter asked me to sit down and chat with her for a little bit. We did. I left my phone in the kitchen and we went in the family room and sat and talked. Before, I would have thought, I need to get her to bed so I can work on things in my office. Not last night. It was so sweet. That thing I had heard about in others' testimonies in this program became a reality for me too. Thank you so much to everyone that's here. Each of you matter so much. Okay, I just love that. I love hearing how people who come in and organize their minds and organize their lives can now be more present with their family members. They can just complete projects, they can establish routines, and get that confidence knowing that they can actually be organized as well. Now, at first, I was a little bit concerned about publishing the whole interview here on the podcast because I thought, oh no, what if people just think I'm just trying to advertise? It's like a big long commercial or something like that. Because we do have programs here at LearnDoBecome, our Steps to Everyday Productivity program, which Claire went through and to help you, build your system. And we have our Rise membership, which Claire's been a part of, and she shared a little bit about her experience as well. But we also have so many free resources here at LearnDoBecome, especially our new welcome kit. If you haven't received that yet, it's at LearnDoBecome.com/welcome. And there are so many things that we offer here on the podcast, on our YouTube channel, and social media. So I hope that you can just listen as Claire gives a tour of her system. We also have this embedded as a video on the show notes page, so you can go and watch it as well if you would like. She's going to share how getting organized with the system helped her to be more respectful to herself and to her family. And then she shares some fantastic, heartwarming stories about how communication with her husband improved and how she was able to complete some really fun projects, like wanting to take a special trip to see a concert with her brother, and she was so excited about it. And that's the type of project that just never would have happened if she hadn't had a system in place. So just hearing her share her success and seeing the hope and the light in her eyes, oh, it was amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Claire and Jill. Oh, I know you're going to love it. Okay, here we go.
Hello and welcome, Claire. We are doing something fun here at LearnDoBecome where we are highlighting some of our amazing members, and Claire Crawford is with us today. Hello, Claire. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Claire has been sharing some really amazing things with us in the Facebook group. So I just reached out to her to see if she'd be willing to meet with me and just share a little bit more. So we're just going to dive right in and just ask Claire a few simple questions about her experience here at LearnDoBecome. And she's just going to share with us where she's at and all the things that she has been learning, doing, growing, and becoming here since beginning with LearnDoBecome. So the first question for you today is, Claire, how did you first hear about LearnDoBecome?
I signed up for the Get Organized HQ Summit, and I invited my friend Mindy. We both joined that. We listened to several presenters in that program, and April really stood out to both of us. She was the one that we both felt like we connected with, and we both felt like we could relate to the most. And I walked away from it feeling like she was somebody that I could really learn from. And then my friend Mindy ended up joining the program. So,
yay! Wonderful. So, which program did Mindy join then?
She joined the
Step
It's the one
mastery.
above step. Yeah, the
Yes.
mastery. Yes, she joined the mastery, and then I joined with her. She had
Yes.
a, a free friend like she could
Yes.
bring on, so that was she gave that to me, and it was just such a blessing. Like, um, it was a blessing because I think that I would not have ever joined only because I had not really seen myself ever be successful with a program that I joined. So I have joined several programs, not necessarily for organizing, but just, signed up for memberships. And this is the first one that I have really feel like I've really thrived in and been patient enough and to stick it out and to see the growth and to ultimately see change and real progress. So and I really attribute that to the way that the program is set up. It's almost like guaranteed success in my mind, because it's outlined in such in such a manageable way, such small steps that don't feel overwhelming and allow you to set up your system and then function in that system from there on out.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And it kind of took care of my next question, because I was going to ask if you had tried other organizational programs or methods in the past as well. So you said that you felt like the setup was almost guaranteed. Was it, just the way that the modules were set up and how you could kind of check them complete as you were going through? Or what do you feel like it was with how it was organized?
Yes, I think so. I think the modules were just very clearly set up, and the steps were, like I said, just almost like they were just so easy. And so it just felt like, well, like April says, like, well, of course I can do that. Like, I can do that step. And so I just felt like each step was so simple, so easy. And throughout step, you're working on building your command central. And so that is so foundational in the program. And at times I was like, this is a lot of a lot of time. I wanted to get to the productive part, but what I didn't realize was that the command central was where the productivity would come from. And if I didn't have that in place, then I wasn't going to be able to be as productive as I wanted to be. And the reality was that I was not being productive in my life the way that I was functioning. So I really needed that command central. But it was the part that I never had the patience for before, to build that command central and to build a system that was going to ultimately serve me and allow me to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. I never had the patience or the stamina or the perseverance to see that process through building that command central. And so I appreciated that the steps were small enough, and it did take me some time, but ultimately I got it done, and now I'm functioning in a much better way.
Oh my gosh, that is just so encouraging to hear, just your own journey and your own process through that. I know when you were, kind of sharing on Facebook, you had a quote, and let me pull that up real quick. You said, "Over the last decade of my life, I have heard many of the principles that are taught in this program. I have read many books about these principles. What this program did was give form and function to those ideas." So I feel like you were just kind of starting to elaborate on that, that really It felt like it was those small steps along the way that, kind of gave you that, shift in your mindset, so to speak, that you were able to move forward and you were able to start seeing progress. But I think it's kind of interesting that because I have heard it many, many times from many other participants in our program that, so many times they're just ready to like jump right into the piles, but they haven't set up the system yet. And it sounds like that was a shift for you this time, is that you realized that, okay, hey, there is a system here and you needed to get all of those tools set up to serve you so you could then move forward and kind of start working on the piles in the organization once you had those tools originally set up. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I love hearing that. So as you were starting to go through the program, was there anything specific, like any specific tools or any specific method that you feel were really helpful to you as you were moving forward in STEP?
Well, what I loved was that the simplicity of it, and that I didn't need a lot of tools. I mean, I meant to have my little folder with me, but I have like a little accordion folder that I keep in my purse, and that's part of my current projects. The current projects that would be required if I was on an errand, or so I keep that with me. Can I show you? Do you want me to show you? Okay. And then I have this. This is my STEP processing questions, my daily reviews, weekly review, and projects. So whichever form I need, I just bring it to the front, and then I use that. So that's been helpful, especially as I'm learning the process of still getting used to doing the process of a daily review and a weekly review, and even the mind sweep checklist is on there. So that helps me as I sit down to do like a mind sweep. And so that's been a helpful tool. I guess I'll walk you on my command central now, if that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Okay. So I have my reading and my incubation here. And then I have all of my folders, I have receipts, waiting, someday, goals, and action. And then over here is my my project board. So one thing I didn't realize before this was how visual I am, and how I need to see the things that I'm working on. And because for me, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So so yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Oh, I love seeing that. And I would have to 100% agree. I feel like I'm a very visual person too. When I first started in STEP, I remember I started to create my routines and responsibilities list, and I had a digital list so I could just easily like shift things around and whatnot. But then each time I would shift things around, I would then go and print it out, and I would post it right here on the wall next to my computer. And so that way it was just always in front of me. So it was just like, as I was going through those routines, or I had something to add, I could just scribble it there on my note. And, just with the next time I updated it, I could just have it right there and be able to add it in, and then, just kind of print out a new one and just kind of tweak it as I was going along. It wasn't like a master, set list right from the get-go. It was something that I could kind of continually tweak and use. And so I can just definitely relate that just having things like front and center can be like so helpful as you're starting to, set this up and kind of get moving in the system. So how long would you say that you have been, you have had your program like kind of like up and running now? Like how long have you been?
I would say like probably 9 months that I've really been functioning well in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and your friend, you said, did start it together. So as you were going through the modules, were you kind of accountability partners where you'd kind of talk through the process as you were learning and growing? Did you get up together or?
Yes, we did a little bit, not as much as we would have liked, but we definitely would check in with each other and say, how's it going? And just encourage each other to jump back in, wherever we had left off. And so I think it took both of us quite a while, but we're both busy, like homeschooling, working moms. And so it's, but that's the beauty of the program too, is that you can jump in wherever you left off. And that's also like a very, like, it kind of puts your mind at peace. It's like, okay, well, it's fine. I'm just going to pick up wherever I left off. And even if I miss a week, I'm like, it's fine. I can literally pick this system up anytime and be better off than I was, before.
Yes.
And get myself back on track, And I love that. I just love it. If I'm starting to feel chaotic, or I'm starting to feel like I'm holding too much in my mind, just write it down, categorize it. Is this a project? Is this a task? Is this a routine that I need to develop? It's just such an amazing system. I didn't know that I was adding so many projects to my task list. I thought they were tasks. And then I realized, like April says, if it's more than one task, it's a project. And I was like, well, that's why I was getting hung up. That's why I couldn't complete that task, because it was a project.
Yeah.
And so
it's like that moment, right?
It is. It really is. And then also just trying to keep too many, projects in motion. Keeping it down to like eight projects has also been a game changer, because there's so many things that I would like to get done. And I didn't realize that I was trying to do them all at once and doing them all ineffectively, to be quite frank. And then this is just such a respectful way to do it, I feel like, because the projects get done more quickly with more intentionality. And honestly, I feel like it's more enjoyable, because it's more well thought out. Like I wasn't doing in the beginning or before this program.
It kind of closes the loop, so to speak, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Brings everything together. So what would you say are some of the changes that you have seen or felt, like mentally or physically, as you compare yourself prior to STEP versus where you are now?
I think just a sense of like mental calm, and feeling like everything has, not just feeling like, but everything has a home. And all of the important papers that I have, I know they're safely stored for when I need them, and they're easily accessible. I'm not going to have to go searching for them. Knowing that all of the projects that I'm needing and wanting to do are all listed out and waiting for me. And should one become more important, all of a sudden, I can move that one to the front, and then move another one that I have currently listed to the side. It's just a really peaceful feeling, to get it all on paper, and to calm your mind in that way, to go, it's all there, and I can pick and choose the most important things right now. It's given me a lot of mental clarity and peace. And then physically, I don't know about physically. That's definitely going to be it's definitely on my current, my future projects list, to develop like a workout routine, to change up my diet, all of those things. But I think the beauty of this is that it's given me more patience, like not feeling like everything has to be done right now, to go, I'm going to devote myself to this. And yes, that needs to be done, but it can be done a little later. I can be patient with myself, and I can give myself the time to complete this project well. And then there's going to be time for these other things. That is what I did not understand previously. I felt just a sense of urgency, and just kind of the opposite of calm. Just feeling like I had to do everything at once. And like I said, not doing it effectively. So this has given me a lot of patience for the process, to go, I'm gonna let this unfold over time, and eventually I'm gonna check this project off my list, and then I can move that next one in.
And how does that feel, like when you've been able to check that project off that's actually completed, and then you get to do a new one? I mean,
Yeah.
What kind of emotions does it bring up for you?
I think it gives me a lot of confidence. It really builds my confidence and my ability to see something through. So that's another realization I had, is that I didn't trust myself to be able to see a project through to the end. I think primarily because, and this was prior to STEP, primarily because I didn't think through the steps that were needed and didn't have a plan. And so what I thought I needed to do was rush through a project, get it all done. Like I would wear myself out trying to get it done in a day, and it's something that really could have been spread out over time, but I wasn't confident in my ability to remember that I was doing that project. I thought I was just going to forget about it. And so I thought, in order to get this done, I need to do it all today and just completely wear myself out. Now I feel like I have more trust in myself, but the credit goes to the system because because I can trust that I can go back to my next actions list, and I'm going to be looking at my next actions list consistently. I've got it on my board here, and so I'm not going to forget about it. I think that was the thing. I was afraid that I would forget about my projects or that I would lose momentum, and now that has become a non-issue. So,
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thank you so much for just sharing a little bit more about that and how the progression has been happening for you and just kind of how that affects you. And, I just, I know when I was first starting with this, as I started to implement some of these tools for myself as well, I mean, physically, I felt like there was a weight that was lifted from my shoulders as I was like, oh my gosh, like I can actually do this, and this is manageable, and it's not hard. It may have felt uncomfortable at first because it can be scary to change your systems that you've had in place, as long as they may have been, for decades you've been doing things a certain way. And so to learn something can be a little bit challenging, but oh my goodness, just the peace of mind and how safe I felt knowing that everything that was happening and all of the details that were related to everything that was happening, all of those, all of the things, they were safe. And it was like, oh, I didn't know how much I was missing that and craving that in my own life. So,
yeah.
How would you say STEP and implementing the system has affected your relationships? Anything that you would care to share in that realm? Because that's definitely kind of a sidebar of all of the work and effort that you've been putting into the system itself.
Yes, with my husband, before, I guess I should say pre-STEP, I would just kind of like text him or call him, or whenever something came up urgently, like, or anything that I again felt like I might forget. I would be like, oh, I got to call my husband and talk to him about this right now. And so poor guy, like he never really knew what was going to hit him next. And so having the to discuss section and writing that down has been a game changer, because now it's like, okay, like we're having coffee. Let's go have coffee. Let's sit down and talk about these things. It's just like I said, this is more respectful for myself, but it's also helped me be more respectful of other people, because suddenly, like, everything was an emergency almost. Like, as far as like, I didn't want to forget it. If I wrote it down, I might not remember where I wrote it down. And so I have to talk to this person right now, or I need a response from them right now. And now it's like, no, I've got it written down and I'm not going to forget it. And so I can ask them this, but I don't have to demand a response right now. Like, and I'm thinking far enough ahead now as well, that like I'll email 2 weeks in advance about something that I need an answer for in 2 weeks, Like I'm thinking far ahead now. And that's something I didn't do before either. It was like whack-a-mole. It was like putting out fires. And now it's like, oh, no, it doesn't take a whole lot of time either, but just giving a little bit of forethought to what might need to happen, to help things along in the future has gone a long way. And I felt like it's helped our relationship in that way. I did ask him if he'd noticed any changes in me, and he said he'd seen like a marked difference in like intentionality. What did he say? Intentionality and follow through. So, and also just a sense of like pride in myself and pride in my abilities to get things done. So, yeah.
That is amazing. I loved what you were sharing about like how not only has it brought, more respect that you feel for yourself, but also respecting others as well. Mm-hmm. And also another takeaway there was that it's like you've shifted from living in a sense of urgency to living in more of a sense of calm and control, kind of being able to, see those tasks coming 2 weeks down the road and feeling like, okay, I've got this, and just kind of feeling that control is such a different shift than feeling like your time is controlling you, for sure.
Definitely. Well, and I was just going to say, I had on I just celebrated my birthday, and I had on my list to plan a birthday trip to LA with my brother, and I planned the whole thing, and I just got back, and those are the kind of things that never happened before. They were just ideas, and the time flew by before I could really even take action because I never broke it down into steps. I never broke it down into check with Brent, see what dates are available, check on flights, check on, I didn't break it down into steps. And now I'm breaking it down into steps. And I got to go see like one of my favorite artists with my brother. And it was one of the best trips. It's one of the best trips I've had. And it's because of this program. Honestly, it was because of this program. I would have never done that before. I would have only dreamed of it, and then the time would have passed, and I would have been like, I missed it, And so it was incredible. It was incredible. I was so proud of myself when I got back too, because I was like, and I was thankful for you guys because I knew that like that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had it right up there on that board and followed the steps and just incredible. So
that story warms my heart so much. Just that you were able to have that experience and whatnot. And, we're just here at Learn to Become to provide these tools, to provide the system, but you are the one who's been putting in that hard work to actually make it happen. So great job, Claire. That is amazing. I know you're also the mother of 2 daughters as well. So do you feel like, and then do you homeschool both of them as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got a lot on your plate to manage as far as your role as a mom then as well too. Goodness. So has that kind of helped as far as managing all the different hats that you're having to wear, all the hats and responsibilities, so to speak?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Just having the different projects helps me to identify my priorities and to manage those roles more effectively. I would say yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I just love hearing all of these stories and just like how it's when it really comes down and impacts your life day to day and your relationships day to day. I mean, that is just everything that we hope for. And just hearing that is just incredible. So, Claire, what would you say to any individual who thinks that they could never be organized? What words of wisdom would you share with them?
Okay. I did write some things down for this. So, but I just wrote, I would say that like, I felt that way too. And I was very like helter-skelter in my mind, in my thoughts. And I would say that the key is that, you need a simple system. And that's what this program has given me. And I wouldn't say it's complicated and or fancy. And that's what I love about it, is it's just so streamlined. And I think any other system I've tried in the past has been so complicated. But if you have your command central in place, it's just so empowering, and it just helps to set you up for success. So one thing that I was thinking about on my trip to Los Angeles was we went on a tour. We went driving around Beverly Hills, like right when I got there. We were just kind of enjoying the sights. The houses were beautiful. And then the next day, we actually took a guided tour on a tour bus. And the tour guide was able to point out all these houses of these famous celebrities, and like that we had been passing by and not even known it, So what I was thinking was, April, Eric, and Aaliyah, and everybody on LearnDoBecome, they've been my tour guides. And so they've been helping me see the things that I couldn't see before on my own, as far as like, how to set things up and how to function, and how to live an organized life. And so the difference between that tour and the tour that we had, on our own, just driving around, was so stark. So anyway, I feel like they've really helped in that way. They've been my tour guides and my support in along the way. So I would just say, I think you need a simple system and to follow that system. And the beauty of this program is that they help you walk it out. It's guaranteed success if you just do each step. It's guaranteed success. And that's the bottom line. You don't have to be afraid. There's nothing to lose. You just have to walk it out. And like I said, you can pick it up. If life gets busy, pick it up later. It's fine. You're going to get there, and it's going to be good.
Yeah. And even if you've got a little bit of a step away or a step back, like you said, for a day or a week or two or whatever it may be, everything is still going to be in your system and safe until you're ready to come back and pick it back up again. So I love that analogy as well. Yeah. I do know here recently, you've not only, been a participant in our STEP program, but you've also joined the Arise program, which is our monthly membership here at LearnDoBecome. So what would you say are your takeaways from the Arise program versus STEP? STEP is obviously this foundational program. You showed us your Command Central. These are all things that you learned in the core STEP system. But what has Arise meant to you?
I'm still getting involved in Arise, but I think the community that I was telling Aaliyah that I had such momentum with the STEP program that I was excited to dive into some of the past programs or topics in Arise. So I think that it's just so rich, and it has so much to offer for those people who are functioning well in their system and then want to go on and refine or excel or do more in the becoming, as April says, like to, there's just so much there as far as like resources and past teachings about how to, advance and to fine tune your program, and also just to achieve the goals that you want to achieve.
That is wonderful. And definitely a big takeaway there is community and growth. There are so many, of those key core focus areas in Arise that we do those kind of deep dives into. So when you're ready for that next step, you've got a community around you supporting you. We talk about these topics a little bit more in depth just to gain a better understanding. I know this past month, we just had another financial review with Eric. And I mean, it just blew me away. Again, I was just like, anybody who can take finances and simplify them the way that he does, and just, kind of give you those simple core steps in a system. It's not like they're giving financial advice, but just like some basic principles to build upon. And you're like, oh, this makes this big, huge topic that can feel overwhelming for some people just simplified. And I was just like, that's what I feel like Arise does. Kind of takes those bigger topics and kind of puts them through the step system to kind of break them down and help them get simplified. Yes. And the community there is just amazing. I love seeing everybody gather each month on our live call and just be able to connect and, just hear everyone's stories as well. So anything else that you would tell anyone who might be on the fence as far as whether or not to join a program here at LearnDoBecome? Any last encouragement that you would want to give them?
I would say run, don't walk. I've heard that said about things, but this is definitely a life-changing program for anyone that wants to make forward progress in their life. It has been such a gift to me, and it's not only a gift to yourself, but it's a gift to others in your life. And you're going to make a bigger impact because as a result of being a part of this community and as a part of participating and completing this program. So you are going to notice ripple effects that you couldn't have anticipated. So I would say wholeheartedly just join.
Oh, that is amazing. I just am sitting here appreciating your encouragement and your inspiration. I mean, just to see your beautiful command central that you have set up, and not only to see it there behind you physically, but to see all of the effects that it's just having on you as a person, as an individual, to be able to complete these big projects and to have these amazing experiences that wouldn't have happened without STEP. I mean, I just definitely feel uplifted. So I appreciate your time so much today. Anything else that you would like to share that we haven't already covered yet before we wrap up our call today here, Claire?
I will say that I was going to tell you earlier in the call that I did read David Allen's Getting Things Done a long, long time ago. And I'm just grateful that it was overwhelming to me. I didn't feel like I could walk it out. And I knew that it was something that I needed in my life, but I didn't know how to walk it out, how to step it out. And I just want to say thank you to everyone there because I needed this program. I needed a visual program. I needed a step-by-step program that was going to help me to the finish line. And that's what this program does. So I just want to say thank you to the team and to April for being another voice and saying this information in a different way that connected with me. And because though that book was great, I didn't walk away from it with success. And I found success here with this program. So I just want to say thank you for not thinking that that's already been said and we don't need to say that. No, you do need to say it. And we did need to hear it. And so I needed to hear it. And I am one life that was really changed by it. So just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Claire, for being here and just putting in the work. Your efforts have been amazing. And thank you for sharing your heart, not only with me, but with all of our community and everyone else who's going to hear your story in the future. I know I just certainly appreciate your time today. And it was just amazing to hear your story. And I feel like I've been very impacted by it. It's beautiful to see lives change for the better in any way, shape, or form that occurs. So we appreciate you so much, Claire. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We just absolutely appreciate you. And we wish you all the best as you continue on your journey through STEP for as many years as you're here in the community. I know that it's going to serve you well far into your life, and we just appreciate you so, so very much.
Thank you, Jill.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
I hope that you feel as inspired and excited and optimistic as I felt as I listened to this amazing interview. Another huge thanks to Claire Crawford and to Jill Adams for being here and being just willing to share both of their experiences. Jill has been with us here at LearnDoBecome for 8 years, and she started out as a stepper, a student in one of our programs, and now she is coaching and inspiring. And just hearing what Claire's doing, she came and started out just kind of getting her feet wet, and then now she is just doing an amazing job, and now she's inspiring all of you with her experience. So I just love it, and I hope that you will come and get the welcome kit if you haven't yet. It's at LearnDoBecome.com/welcome. You can find out about our free training and our directory and a couple of videos to get you going. We're just thrilled to be a little small part in your life and help you to get that relief and be able to wake up excited and to go to bed content. It's wonderful to have you here, and we will see you soon at LearnDoBecome.com.